reports from shipment indicate today's athletics may ask for all attending today's contest to act responsibly and courteously to those around them. Negative language and inappropriate behavior will not be tolerated. Please give the players, officials, and coaches the respect they deserve. Thanks for being a good sport. The restrooms are located on the second level of the gym behind the American flag, and also on the first level of the school in the hallway opposite the team benches. Concession space is open and located on the second level of the south end of the gymnasium opposite the American flag. And now let's meet the starting lineup. First for the visiting Blue Devils. Starting at one guard, number 1, Jaden Brookie. At guard, number 3, Avery Kyle. At guard, number 12, Ethan Powell. At forward, number 24, Alex Ogden. And at the other forward, number 42, Jalen Pollard. The Blue Devils are coached by Jeff Strait. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Speedway Sparkplugs. Starting at one guard, number 22, Carson Harrison. At guard, number 24, Reese Walker. At guard, number 32, Drew Valentine. At forward, number 30, Kevin Ruffin. At forward, number 34, Zeke Perez. The Plugs are coached by Charles Bennett, assisted by Dan Rosario and Jim Murley. Officials for this evening's game are Tim Cartwright, Michael Nicholson, and Matt Weldon.
Starting lineups once again quickly for the Shortridge Blue Devils. Number 1, Jaden Brookings at the guard. Number 3, Avery Giles. Number 12, Ethan Powell, a freshman. Number 24, their leading scorer and leading rebounder, Alex Ogden, 6'4" senior. And Jaden Mullenix, a 6'4" junior. 2 6'4" kids will start for the Blue Devils. For the Sparkplugs, Carson Harrison, Reese Walker, Jevin Ruffin, Drew Valentine, and Zeke Perez. Their normal starting lineup. Blue Devils get the jump to start the game. Sparkplugs in man-to-man defense. And Ogden, leading scorer, averaging 11 points a game, starts the scoring off. Shortridge also starting in a man-to-man defense. Heard Coach Bennett talk in his interview about the importance of 3, 4, 5 passes for our offense to work effectively. Jevin Ruffin with a nice spin move, and he scores. It's 2-2. Interesting coach that their ball handlers are 6'4", starts their offense anyway. Offensive rebound pulled down by the Blue Devils. Ethan Powell on the first shot that missed. Blue Devils will have the ball out of bounds. Keying the ball inbounds is Ogden. Ogden short on the shot, an offensive rebound once again by the Blue Devils. Once again by the Blue Devils, an offensive rebound. Mullenix no good. And we've got an over the back called on the Blue Devils. Coach, we've got to solve the offensive rebounding.
We are less than 2 minutes into the game, and number one glaring key right now is we're not going to be able to give them more than a shot every time they come down the floor.
Carson Harrison with a three, that's good.
Harrison for three.
Plugs lead 5-2. Couple minutes into the game. Good ball movement on the part of the Blue Devils. Ogden with a nice pass to Mullinex, goes out of bounds, deflected off the Sparkplugs. Once again, Alex Ogden. .6'4" senior. Mullinex 42, a 6'4" junior. Been moving a field goal by freshman Ethan Powell, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Drew Valentine on the foul. Ethan Powell will have the opportunity to make the old-fashioned three-point play. The Sparkplugs with a field goal and a three-pointer so far. He misses free throw. Drew Valentine, a 5'7" guard, comes down with a rebound. Harrison with a nice back cut, gets fouled on the play. The foul's once again on Avery Giles, his second. 2 fouls on the Blue Devils, both on Avery Giles. Carson Harrison's going to go to the line for 2. Misses the first.
End of the game for Shortridge, number 21.
Coach, in our last couple home games, one of the noticeable things, we didn't shoot very many free throws, and hope that changes tonight. A nice cut there by Harrison to earn himself 2 free throws. Now we need to take advantage of it.
On the season, we're shooting more than 50 free throws less than our opponents on the year. That's a result of a lot of things, but we're averaging around 10 or 11 attempts a game, and you'd like to see that up about 15 to 18. I know last week, if I remember correctly, we did not shoot 1 free throw in our game.
Three-point shot attempt by Willie Mitchell, no good. Nathan Metallic into the game for the Sparkplugs, takes it to the basket. Nathan Metallic in for Zeke Perez. Inbound goes to Jevin Ruffin. Back cut by Nate Metallic. Nice pass out. Carson Harrison. We're going to have a foul on 24, I believe. Alex Ogden with his first. Carson Harrison will inbound it. 4:36 remaining in this first quarter. Plugs lead 6-4. Drew Valentine on the drive, off the front of the rim. Alex Ogden with a rebound. Ball comes back to Ogden on the baseline. Pass over to Brookins. Takes a long three. And the rebound comes down to Nate Metallic. Coach Bennett calling out an offense for the Plugs this time. Harrison on another back cut, back out to Drew Valentine. Good ball movement. Valentine cashes in on the three-pointer, and it's 9-4. Good ball movement that time, Coach. Plugs now in a 2-3 zone. Brookins from the corner, and that's good. Jaden Brookins with a three-pointer. The Blue Devils close the gap to 9-7.
Shortridge defense, man-to-man, not overly aggressive. We're getting really about every pass we want to complete we can.
Nate Metallic with a free throw line jumper. And it was our understanding they do a lot of 2-3 zone, but we haven't seen that yet. been all man-to-man by the Blue Devils. Brookins again from three-point range. Nice block out by Jaden Ruffin.
I think the only reason that we didn't get the offensive rebound or defensive rebound there was because of the height advantage. I thought Jevin did a great job of blocking out.
They did. Jump ball, Speedway's possession. Alternate possession, Speedway ball. Ruffin over to Reese Walker. Reese Walker on the drive. Yeah, it's a play you see a lot more now than what you used to see years ago. Driving to the basket and whipping out to the corner to a three-point shooter or whatever. That sometimes they might have a better chance of a layup than
I
the pass.
remember several years ago, Clark Tudor played here, and that was one of their pre-game drills. Was dribble baseline and pass it out the other side.
Drew Valentine drives and a nice left-handed layup. That's his 5th point. Plugs lead 13-7. Jumper by Ethan Powell, no good. Nathan Metallic comes down with a rebound. Coach Bennett once again calling out an offense. Good ball movement. Drew Valentine with a three, no good this time. Brookins with the ball for the Blue Devils. Gets it inside to Mullenix. Misses the short shot inside. Gets his own rebound twice. Finally puts it in. A couple more offensive rebounds there, Coach, for the Blue Devils. Elvin Camacho with his first shot of the game, no good. He's the leading three-point shooter percentage-wise for the Sparkplugs. Mullenix with another field goal. In case, Coach, of their 6'4" kids are taking advantage of our 6-foot kid.
Their inside people right now are doing a really good job of positioning. Good bucket.
Nate Metallic with a nice move and a field goal for his 4th point. .30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Plugs lead 15-11. Plugs in a 2-3 zone. Brookins misses. Reese Walker comes down with a rebound. Elvin Camacho for three, no good, and that completes the first quarter.
Number 23, Josh Driver, checks in.
Didn't really get a chance to talk too much before the game, but Shortridge comes in with a record of 3-12. They actually won last night to beat Bethesda Christian, but when you look at their schedule, so far in the year, out of 15 games, 11 of their games have been on the road. They started off their first 5 games were on the road. I usually don't go through an entire schedule, I won't, but I'm going to point out a few things. They opened up with Attucks. Attucks this week won the city championship. Next, they played a very good university team who's been ranked. They also played Brebeuf on the road early in the year. After that, they Chittard, who's having a very good year this year. Then they came back with Oldenburg, who's ranked in single A. Then they had a couple of 4A schools, Franklin and Roncalli. And since they played Greenwood Christian, this is actually their last road game of the year. So considering everything, how young they are, how many road games they've had, Coach Bennett said, we're really two teams mirroring each other. It's taken us this long to kind of find ourselves, and for Shortridge, the same thing.
So they've played 15 games, and 11 or 12 of them have been on the road. And then they've got 6 straight home games to finish the season. You know, up to this point, leading scorer 24, Alex Ogden. He has 2 points, but he's unselfish. In fact, their whole team appears to be an unselfish team. Jaden Brookins has 3, Ethan Powell has 2, Alex Ogden 2, and Jalen Mullenix 4. Gonna have a foul on Jaden Brookins. For the Plugs, Carson Harrison has 4 points, Jevin Ruffin 2, Drew Valentine 5, and freshman Nate Metallic 4. So 4 different players for the Sparkplugs have scored, 4 different players for Shortridge have scored, and we're going to have a foul, I believe, on number 12.
Number 33.
Correction, 33. Elias Diallo, that's his first. I believe he must have got hit in the head and cut himself or scratched himself or something. I think they're putting pad on him of some sort.
Fans, a reminder, the Booster Club is selling tickets for the Booster Bash at the concession
Coach
stand.
Bennett takes a 30-second timeout.
The bash is scheduled for Saturday, February 29th. Tickets at the door will be $30.
You know, I always think it's kind of, from an educational standpoint, it's kind of fun to talk about when you play teams like Shortridge and Addicts. And a lot of our younger fans, you got to be old like us to remember the tradition that these schools have had. I know my first game ever in Hinkle Fieldhouse, I was a 6th grader. My dad took me to semi-state, and they were in the final game of semi-state. I'll never forget, they got beat on the last second shot by Newcastle. But their school closed down in '81 for several years and was a junior high. And I think in 2011 or 2010 is when they came back as a high school. Now they're a medical, or not a medical magnet, but I think they're a legal magnet school. But a little known fact, they are the oldest public high school in the state of Indiana, Shortridge High School is. So I say Mayor Richard Lugar, but Senator Richard Lugar, probably their #1 graduate. And a very proud community. And I agree with you. I think they're very well coached. We've played them now several years. They were in our sectional. And they were very young. Last year they graduated from seniors, and they're kind of back this year to getting that youth movement back. By the way, it's a little bit unusual that a freshman plays varsity, and tonight we've got 2 of them, one for each team.
Reese Walker hits both free throws. To add a little bit to your history, my dad were alive, he'd be 100 years old this month.
Oh, wow.
He went to Shortridge High School, and so did my mother.
Oh, wow. Did not know that.
That's where they met. So Shortridge been around a long time. They've had a great history, particularly in the 60s in Indianapolis.
Went to a Final Four in 1968, and as I said, got beat in 67 in a buzzer beater. Good move.
Zeke Perez with the offensive rebound for the Sparkplugs. Nice spin move by Reese Walker, misses. The Blue Devils come down with the rebound. Jai Stringer, who is also a freshman. .33, Elias Diallo, also a freshman. So on the floor right now for the Blue Devils are 3 freshmen. Carson Harrison with another 3 that gives him 7 points on the night. Plugs lead 20-11. So 3 freshmen on the floor right now with Alex Ogden, their leading scorer, a senior. And we're going to have another foul, I believe, on Alex Ogden. That'll be his second. So Ogden with 2, Giles with 2 for the Blue Devils.
Jevin Ruffin back in the game. Willie Mitchell back in the game.
Jevin Ruffin gives Zeke Perez a breather. Blue Devils will take the ball out of bounds. Goes into Ogden. I believe that's going to be the second foul on Drew Valentine. And it is.
Fouls on Speedway Drew Valentine.
That's his second.
Foul at the line shooting.
Ethan Powell misses the first free throw of a two-shot foul. Alvin Camacho, his first field goal of the night for three. We've got a timeout taken by the Blue Devils. Coach, I'm just looking at my stats, and I've got Blue Devils with 6 fouls. The scoreboard has 5. We shall see. 23-12, 6:22 remaining in this first half.
Both teams are averaging in the mid to upper 40s, so over the course of the whole season, not a lot of scoring, but the Plugs are off to a really good start. 23 points, not even halfway through the second quarter. Coach Bennett talked about our improvement defensively. Since the Cecina game, we've given up 35, 52, 56, 56, 50, and 40 points. And I know our goal is in the 50s, so he's got to be happy about that.
Yeah. Well, as we pointed out, the Blue Devils are very young. Sparkplugs on the floor right now have a sophomore, freshman, 2 seniors, and a junior. So both teams young out on the floor right now. Reese Walker short on his jumper. Shot attempt by freshman Josh Strigger is no good. Plugs race down the floor. Walker's shot is no good. Willie Mitchell with a shot. Plugs come down with a rebound, 23-12.
That's a good call.
Number 30, Devin Ruffin.
Push off on the offensive foul by Jevin Ruffin. Be nice, Coach, with Drew Valentine out of the lineup to come down and take a little more time than what we've taken the last 2 or 3 times down the floor. Make those 4 or 5 passes before the shot. Once again, Sparkplugs in a 2-3 zone. Sparkplug ball.
Steve Perez back in the game for Plugs.
And back into the game for Blue Devils, 42, Jalen Mullinex, mentioned before, a 6'4" junior. Reese Walker with a 3, no good. Reese Walker doesn't take very many threes.
No, he
That was
doesn't.
a little short.
Good move. And miss.
Brookins misses the layup. Elvin Camacho for three. If there was a case, one long pass down the floor, coach, and the spark plug ball out of bounds.
Yeah, we've gotten away a little bit from what we were doing early in the game. Be nice right now to build a bigger lead. Shortridge is having a hard time scoring. And we've been stuck on 23 here for a little while.
Reese Walker shot blocked from the free throw line. The jump ball, the spark plug ball. Debris out on the floor.
Neither team has scored for over 3 minutes.
Camacho with a bad pass out of bounds, and it'll be Shortridge ball. Kind of a lull, like you say, in the scoring. Both, and they've had opportunities and thrown some away, and we've had opportunities and thrown some away. Score remains 23-12. A little over 3 minutes remaining in this first half. 3-on-1 break. Nice unselfish play by Carson Harrison over to Reese Walker, who was fouled on the shot. Trigger with his first foul. Reese Walker at the line for 2.
Jevin Ruffin returns for the Plugs.
Jevin Ruffin replaces Elvin Camacho.
Reese Walker brings a really nice level of playing physical, just like he did in football. Very physical player. Even though he's not very big,
Reese Walker's a nice sophomore basketball player, and as you alluded to, football was good for him.
Absolutely.
I mean, he wasn't afraid and did a nice job for Coach Steve Ray's football team. 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight, and that's all his 4 points.
A lot of people would say he's not afraid to mix it up, and that's a good thing.
Carson Harrison on the drive, and he scores. Carson Harrison now with 9 points, leading scorer for the Plugs. A nice reverse layup by Ethan Powell, freshman that we have talked about. He's now got 5 points. Makes him the leading scorer for the Blue Devils. Nathan Metallic I believe it's going to be an offensive foul on Ethan Powell.
Control foul number 12, Ethan Powell. .144 remaining in this first half. Plugs lead 27-14. Ball goes into Metallic.
Zeke Perez. Turnover by the Plugs gives the ball back to the Shortridge Blue Devils. Mullinex will inbound it to Jaden Brookins. Long shot by Willie Mitchell goes out of bounds. Sparkplugs will inbound at 1:23. Three seconds, and I was going to say, Devin Ruffin was in there a long time.
He got stuck in there and couldn't find anybody to use his dribble and couldn't find anybody to pass it to. We're getting a little, trying to play a little quick. You got to have good movement, but I think offensively we need to slow down a little bit and determine whether or not we've got a scoring situation.
Brookins with his second three. Lead cut to 10, 27-17, 40 seconds left. Devin Ruffin scores, and we've got a foul inside.
I mentioned this last week in a Pollard Tutor game. Devin Ruffin is really coming into his own as a senior basketball player. Paid his dues, played a lot of JV, and reaping the benefits right now. He's really playing some good basketball here toward the end of his senior year.
Yeah, I was going to say a minute ago, both he and Zeke Perez are seniors. They're both very unselfish, do all the dirty work inside. Ethan Powell with three-pointer. Zeke Perez with a three-pointer. That may be his first of the year, Coach. We'll have to check that. But we'll be right back. The score at halftime, Plugs 33, Blue Devils 20, and we'll be back with your scoring the first half. back here at Pollard Gymnasium where the Sparkplugs lead at halftime 33-20 over the Shortridge Blue Devils. Quickly scoring, Coach, and then I'm going to ask you your thoughts on the first half. Leading scorer for the Blue Devils is Ethan Powell, a freshman, who has 8 points. Jaden Brookings has 6 on 2 threes. Alex Ogden, their leading scorer, has only 2 points. Leading scorer for the year has only 2 points. And Jalen Mullenix, 4 points for their total of 20. Sparkplugs, 7 different people have scored, led by Carson Harrison, 9 points. Elvin Camacho has a 3 for 3. Reese Walker has 4 free throws for his total of 4. Devin Ruffin has 5 points. Drew Valentine, 5 points. Zeke Perez, 3 points. Nate Metallic, 4. So 7 different plugs have scored, the least of which is 3 points, most of which is 9 points. Coach, thoughts about the first half?
Well, I think after about the first 3 or 4 minutes, we kind of got their offensive rebounding cleaned up. That really was not a problem the rest of the half. I thought in the second quarter in particular, we were getting into a little bit of a hurry on offense. Maybe trying to force things a little bit too quickly, rather than getting the defense spread out a little bit, then making your moves. But at the same time, we're able to build a 13-point lead. So defensively, I think we're doing a nice job. I think Shortridge is struggling offensively, as they would be with playing a lot of time 3 freshmen in the line at the same time. But important for us to come out and get a good start here. We haven't had a lot of chances this year. We're in this position. We were in this position last Friday night at Tri-West, up 9 points at halftime. As Coach Bennett said, came out in the third quarter and kind of threw it away a little bit. Let's see if we learn from that. And that's, no matter what level you're at, especially with a team like we have, a beginning team, have we learned from some of the mistakes in our past? And we're going to find out here in the first 3 or 4 minutes. A great chance for us to jump on them early and let's get this balloon, this lead up to about 18.
You just led into what my comment was going to be. The first 3 or 4 minutes of this quarter will be important in determining the outcome of the game. Simply to see if we can seize the momentum and build on this lead, or if we lose what we worked 16 minutes to get.
3-point basket by Giles.
Avery Giles leads off the half with a 3-pointer.
Just as you watch us when we're on offense, no matter where you're here at home watching, just kind of notice the spacing on our player. We're a much better team when we're spaced around the floor rather than we getting bunched up in little areas. And I think this offense right here gives us an opportunity to be really spaced out.
Carson Harrison misses a 3-point shot attempt. And 2 big guys handle the ball for Shortridge. Ogden and Mullenix. Mullenix fouled on the play.
I think if I was Shortridge, that would be a point of emphasis here at the beginning of the third quarter to try to get it into the 2 big guys, because early in the game they were doing that and some good things were happening for them.
Mullenix misses his first free throw. You know, from having coached in the past, I always watch free throws, rhythm that they shoot, rotation on the ball that they shoot. Mullenix hits 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. I'm watching games on TV. I'm watching Drew Valentine, the 2-pointer. I'm always watching players in college on TV
I have
with
some
her.
big thoughts on shooting free throws. We'll get into it sometime.
I don't know what it is in this day and age. I know back in the old days they said that a third of the points you'll score during the season will come from the free throw line, depending on what percentage free throw shooter you are. You'll go by Ethan Powell. He's now got 10. Only player in the game right now in double figures, a freshman for the Blue Devils. So his lead cut to 9. Devin Powell, I don't know how he got it inside all those people, but he did. Plug's lead goes back to 11. 37-26. Good job blocking out there by the Plugs. That's a moving pick on Jevin Powell, or Jevin Ruffin, excuse me. That's his second. Plugs have 2 fouls this half. Shortridge yet to commit a foul. 5:15 left in the third quarter. Plugs lead by 11. A lot of cross-court passes this half for the Blue Devils. Drew Valentine on the drive, knocked out of bounds by the Blue Devils. It'll be Speedway's ball underneath their own basket. Field goal made by number 3, Avery Giles. You got a delay of game call. A warning. Next will be a technical foul. Timeout. 30-second taken by the Plugs. Lead cut to 9. Yeah, I think on the last inbounds play over here, I think Drew thought they were going to take it out on the other side. The referee called him over to this side. We weren't very organized in what we were doing and threw the ball away on the inbounds play.
Scholarships for Speedway Oklahoma will be in action. Many students have received over $1.1 million.
We're playing a little bit more zone tonight than what I've seen us play in the past. And I know that's game planning.
Thank you in advance for your continued support.
A little press for the first time tonight by the Blue Devils. Drew Valentine on the drive, and he scores. Pretty tough little 5'7" junior guard for the Plugs.
I think the instruction during that timeout is let's be patient on this time, make a few more passes, and it worked.
Reese Walker on the drive for the score with a nice pass from Drew Valentine. We got a lot of Valentines here that have played in recent years, Coach. Nice assist to Drew Valentine on the play.
Nice pass.
Ogden with the offensive rebound.
24, Alex Ogden.
That's his 4th point of the game. .30, 2:50 remaining in this third quarter. Nice back cut by Drew Valentine to Zeke Perez. Back out to Carson Harrison. And we're going to have a foul and a rebound on Zeke Perez. That'll be his second. Thought all that was going to end up with a three-pointer there.
In the game for Speedway, number 40,
Nathan Metallic replaces Zeke Perez. Tallest player on the floor for the Sparkplugs is 6-foot freshman Nate Metallic and 6-foot senior Jevin Ruffin. Plugs now back to a man-to-man defense. But Nate Metallic with a nice steal. Reese Walker with a nice move inside. Walker gets his 8th point on the night. Steal by Drew Valentine.
Good pass.
Had a 3-on-1, and we had two guys running right next to one another. The Blue Devils convert at the other end. Close it to 11. Thought maybe we were going to have a 15-point lead there for a minute, Coach. I have foul number 1, Jaden Brookins. His second foul. Camacho replaces Carson Harrison. Marcus Gibson enters the lineup for the Sparkplugs, replacing Jevin Ruffin, giving him a rest with 1:13 seconds to go in this quarter. We're going to have a foul on Alex Ogden. That'll be his third.
Number 24, Alex Ogden.
Sparkplugs will take the ball out of bounds. That's going to be an offensive foul on Marcus Gibson. Ogden takes his seat for the Blue Devils. Offensive foul at the Blue Devils end. Elias Diallo with the offensive foul. I'd kind of like to run 45 seconds off the clock here,
You know
Coach.
what? I'm a big advocate of, and we've talked about it before, having a lead no worse than where you're at now, and hopefully maybe 2 or 3 more than what you have now. Wouldn't do that all the time, but
Reese Walker takes the shot, misses, gets his own rebound, and fouled on the putback attempt.
Foul on number 23.
Fouls on Josh Strigger.
Reese Walker.
His second. Walker will go to the line for 2 for the Plugs. 4 team fouls on each team. Reese Walker now 6 for 6 from the line on the night. Foul on Reese Walker, his first, team's 5th.
Carson Harrison back in the game for the Plugs.
The Sparkplug ball with 4.8 seconds to go in this quarter.
The other way.
Valentine misses his shot at the buzzer.
But that quarter was even, Steven, no blood. We started off with a 13-point lead and ended up with a 13-point lead. Our desire to stretch this thing out to maybe 17 or 20 points did not come to fruition. Hey, one thing I think I saw us do defensively that quarter, but maybe I just haven't noticed before or haven't paid attention. But I thought several times our guys anticipated really well. I know we had a couple steals, and I think that's a big component to playing good defense as a team, is anticipate what's going to happen. Don't react to what's going to happen, anticipate. And I know we had 2 or 3 possessions in a row where we made steals because we were anticipating what was going to happen. And sometimes you kind of sit back on your heels, kind of let them do whatever they want to do. And
You know, as you said, that quarter, both teams scored 12 points, so we're same differential. Now it becomes the first 3 or 4 minutes of this quarter becomes important.
Yeah.
Whether the game gets closer or Speedway puts them in a position where they'll have trouble coming back.
And
So
teams-
each possession important right now.
And teams that haven't won a lot of games, give them a chance, and all of a sudden they get hungry, and you don't want to give them that chance. Good rebound.
Good rebound by freshman Nate Metallic. Who drives in,
Did
gets
a good-
off to Reese.
Good first possession here. Yeah, I will say this, for Shortridge playing a lot of freshmen, defensively, man-to-man, they're doing a pretty nice job. And these are things that head coaches hope pays dividends down the line next year and the year after.
In and out for Drew Valentine. Athletic move by Willie Mitchell for his first points of the game.
Steve Perez back into the game for the Plugs. Jalen Pollard into the game for Shortridge.
Zeke Perez back in for the Sparkplugs, who replaces Marcus Gibson. Alex Ogden now, and he travels. Ruffin back in for the Sparkplug lineup, replacing Elvin Camacho.
Just a little surprised that Shortridge hasn't tried to take just a little bit more advantage of their 2 big people inside. I think we have a hard time, could have a hard time handling them. We got bailed out there. That one was scaring me.
24, Alex Ogden.
That's Ogden's 4th foul. Sparkplug's 11-point lead, 6:20 remaining in the ball game. Zeke Perez on the shot inside.
Good
Nate
steal.
Metallic gets a steal.
Basket, Nate Metallic.
That's his 6th point on the night. Nice steal. Once again, we've talked about freshmen.
Elias Diallo back in the game.
Alex Ogden takes a seat, got 4th foul.
Nice move.
Nice move. Couldn't finish her off. We got a foul on Jaden Brookins. It'll be his 3rd, the team's 6th.
Foul on number 1, Jaden Brookins.
The Plugs will have the ball out of bounds. Good. Nate Metallic.
Nate Metallic for 2.
2 more, and that's his 8th point on the night. Sparkplugs back to the 2-3 zone. Finds a crease in it. Ethan Powell finds a crease in that zone and gets a layup. Nice pass from Javin Ruffin to Zeke Perez. And we've got a player down.
Foul on number 42, Jalen Mullinex. Avery Giles back in the game. Basket's good. It's the line shooting one, number 34, Zeke Perez.
Zeke Perez with the field goal. Plugs lead goes up to 15. The chance to go to 16.
Will Smith in the
4:32. 32 Will Smith into the game for, except his number says 31. Will Smith, a junior. Perez hits the free throw.
Full timeout taken by Speedway.
Is this the biggest lead of the game, Coach, for the Sparkplugs?
Yes. I think we had a 13-point lead in the first half, but the 16-point lead is our biggest. That's a really good finish right there. Us getting
2
pressed.
seniors.
Yeah.
Unselfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to what we talked about, Coach Joe Smith, that in between games, girls varsity coach, about the unselfishness of his team, and the same would be said for the boys varsity basketball team, a very unselfish group. Jalen Mullinex, like a knee or ankle injury. We've had more players hurt tonight in the JV game and the varsity game, Coach. And 4:32 remaining in the game. Plugs lead by 16. And now patience will be really important.
It's really our first opportunity since the Eminence game where we were in a very similar position. I was just going to say the Sparkplugs had 1 foul to give, and they just gave it. I wish we could have hung on to that one a little bit longer. Both teams will be shooting bonus now.
Elias Diallo with his first point on the night. We've got a foul on 3. That's Avery Giles, who picked up 2 fouls early and hadn't picked one up since. But that's going to send Drew Valentine to the free throw line.
Valentine heading to the line for 1-1.
Valentine goes to the line, 1-1.
Talked earlier about only hitting 92 free throws this year. I think we're going to get an opportunity here in the last 4 minutes because
Coach, I didn't want to say anything till it happened, but we were 9 for 9 from the free throw line until that miss right there. Alex Ogden is going to go to the line for the Blue Devils. Reffin's third foul. Ogden hits the first of 2. Very deliberate, finds his spot on the floor with his feet. Good rotation on the ball.
Good board.
Reese Walker with the board. And that's his 12th point. Valentine with a foul. Giles with the field goal.
With the foul. Harrison returns. Basket good by Giles, who's in the line for 1.
Giles misses his first free throw attempt of the night. He has 9 points. 3:25 remaining in the ball game. Plugs lead by 13. Easy for us up here to say, but now's the time to be moving the ball, and
you know,
time is our ally right now.
It's not that we have to sit on it and not shoot, but at the same time, there's no reason. Right now, their defensive pressure is not that much. Coach Bennett yells 5 open offense.
I think the more you have it now in Harrison and Carson Harrison on the drive, the more you have the ball in Harrison and Valentine and Walker's hands, the better off it's going to be as your free throw shooters. Plugs lead by 15, 2 minutes to go. Three-pointer by Ethan Powell.
They don't go away.
They foul on 33, Elias Diallo. Walker's going to go to the free throw line.
Diallo, foul. Reese Walker, shooting bonus for Speedway.
Reese Walker shooting 70% on the season going into this game, and he is 8 for 8 in this game. The Plugs are going to chalk up a victory tonight. 1:20 left in the game. They lead by 14.
And you want to see it finish strong.
You know, a game as we talked about during the course of the game, a game with a lot of young players, both teams playing. I believe we got a foul on number 12, Ethan Powell.
Ethan Powell is the foul.
Carson Harrison is going to go to the line.
Harrison at the line.
I missed. I said we were 9 for 9. Carson Harrison missed the first free throw of the game we shot. We're in the double bonus, so he's going to have the chance to hit a couple here. Here I said we were 9 for 9 from the free throw line, and we were 9 for 10 before. Harrison's got 9 points on the night, 2 3-pointers. I said 9 points. He has 11 points and now 12. Ethan Powell on the drive, and it falls.
Foul for 2.
Timeout taken by Shortridge. So 50.5 seconds to go. Plugs lead by 13. Same thing we had at halftime, the end of the third quarter.
Yep.
So we played an even second half.
This usually is the time of the year with a lot of weekday games. Closer you get to sectional,
We get the girls sectionals times. That's
Yeah.
what happens at weekend, Saturday afternoon games and things, so you're not interfering with regionals.
And generally you'll see a lot of coaches from other schools starting to scout because there's midweek games, nights that they're not playing. I see Cascade here tonight. I don't see anybody else, but I remember from coaching, especially my last year with class basketball, there were a lot of opportunities during the week to go to other schools to see teams play.
Chris DuBois at Cascade here tonight. The Plugs will play on Saturday night. Chris has been at Cascade a long time.
Yep.
Good guy.
Yep. Yeah, it was a really, I think, smart play by Reese Walker. I think he realized that 10-second count was getting closer than what we wanted it to, and he put a sprint dribble from about the logo there to the half court to make sure he got the ball over in time.
Perfect. From the free throw line tonight. 10 for 10 for Reese Walker from the free throw line. Ethan Powell for 3, and it goes in. Powell's got 20 points on the night.
Foul. Don't foul.
Fouls on Ethan Powell. Zeke Perez will go to the free throw line. He is 1 for 1 on the night so far. He'll have 2 more opportunities here. Perez with 7 points on the night. Misses the second. On the jump shot, misses. Shot up by Will Smith, no good. And the final score tonight's ball game, Sparkplugs win by 13. We said the same differential as we had at halftime, so it was even the second half, but the Plugs come away with a victory tonight. And we will be right back with your scoring and talk to Coach Charles Bennett.